but your biochemistry shifts. Your body chemistry shifts. Experience that, laughing together, crying together, wondering together. And then there's an intermission, and again, the lights come up and you go back. And then the lights flicker and you go back again. And you have that experience again, and your biochemistry changes. So what we want you to consider is all of these amazing things. How can we, as we master, as we grow into a mastery of our artistry, how can we, from the inside out, be conscious of that? How can we recognize and realize the amazing opportunity that people give us when they give us their time?
Absolutely.
And as we grow and cultivate in what we do, how can we be cognizant of that? First and foremost, nurturing ourselves. And recognizing that we do this because how many people here really feel that, you act, you do what you do because it makes you feel good, right? Isn't there something, maybe sometimes you're a little worried about those lines that you can't remember and you get a little tummy ache, right? But all in all, you wouldn't do this if you didn't love it. You wouldn't do this if it didn't make you feel something. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want to be better at and more deeply understand how to achieve it to a greater degree. Where it's all about being authentic to yourself while at the same time giving it up out there. And it doesn't hurt to get a little money for it either. Right? Just things to think about. You know what? Thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to do that. You have no idea how meaningful it is.
I am so honored to be here tonight and so grateful with these incredible people and with you. And he was talking just now. I was just thinking about story. Story is life. And what we can do as artists is to give everything we got to the story with our life. And that includes our imagination. But how much does it matter? I mean, there's one thing about theater that it was told to me, I guess, when I was a kid, and I was just thinking that somebody said to me, a teacher I had when I was young, he said that when people are in a room together, live, and other people are live, doing their thing on the stage, whatever, that's good acting. And there's always the chance, it's a weird thing to say, but there's always the chance that not everybody's going to leave the room.
That's right. That's right.
There's always the chance that not everybody's going to leave the room. So when people gather together to hear a story, how much can it matter? And what are we really doing? And it sounds funny when you use that word love so much, Orly, when I use it, but it's true. To shine some light, and I also think about, I studied very short with Stella, and it was an impactful experience for me. I was too young, I think. I was 19 and I was there, and she was so intense. And but she talked about the killer instinct of the actor, to be a killer, and I believe what she meant was to be bold and to go and to take risks, and nobody knows what your risk is, though. You know, and maybe you don't. Maybe you discover every day new risks, but we're different. The storytellers, the jolly. It moves me to think about that, jolly. Because we're here to give. I also, we were just talking before, and he was also saying, yeah, give, but not everything. Don't give too much. Don't give everything. Nurture yourself. Love yourself. And also, when you play a character, how much can you go? How far can you go? And I'm hoping that in your time here at Stella, There will be a healthy competition within yourself.
But I do want to say, I don't want the day to happen where you're in class and your instructor has asked you to do something and he or she says to you, come on, what are you doing? Don't ever say, no, but you see, Mr. Johnson said, don't give it all. Don't ever do that. Let me just say that right now. Everybody hears that, right? Don't ever use me as an excuse. It happened a few years ago and it wasn't a pretty thing.
No, but I just, you know, I can't even tell you what he means. I think you know already what he, you know, who he is. I'm not sure even I know who he is. It's just, he's just being. But what I believe he meant when he talked to me about, you know that you need to take care of yourself.
Yes.
And you need to nourish yourself. And when I say healthy competition, there's the kind of competition that is unhealthy. I grew up with the word ensemble, and I was blessed also to start a company of good friends, and we're still going to this day. And we went far together, but we always remembered to support each other. To support each other and to challenge each other, to take risks. But not to play games, you know, and be nasty to each other. Or try to put each other down. But to build, to tell the story. So I was just thinking right now to do two things I was thinking. One was to invite you to share a moment, and as soon as we start, maybe you could start when we start this a beat. You could share a moment. I'm going to give you the theme, a moment from your life. I'm going to give you a theme, and Fred may respond to you after what you say, and the beat will play, and I'll ask some other people to share a moment with a theme I'm about to tell you. And then I also want to add a second thing to this, that as the beat, and if Fred responds, I just want to leave the door open, that in case anybody in here would like to stand up and move a little bit, you're allowed. But I'm not forcing you. I'm just saying it's your choice, that door is open. All right? So I'm going to start off with this moment thing. I like to invite people to share a moment. And the moment I'm asking right now is just a moment that pops up in your mind from your life when there was something about the acting that was a little exciting to you. When there was something about the acting that got you a little excited. It doesn't have to be the moment you knew that you were an actor. But it could just be a moment. And I'll tell you one, like, just quickly, I'll start you off. I'll just say, I got asked to do a play at Sarah Lawrence College by a friend of mine who was directing the play, but it was like she fired the lead guy, and it was 2 days before they were going to do the play. And I had to like come in, and it was actually a character that was obsessed with Dylan, with Bob Dylan. And that's how I got into Dylan. But I didn't know the lines 2 days later, and I just had to be like blah blah blah, and I had to just like do basically the lines. And anyway, I tried to get the gist of it, and we were going, and then the first act was about to end, and right before the first act ended, I had to open this window, and I had a line right after opening the window. So I go, I'm like trying to say it with it, and I go, and the window was stuck. So I was like, blah, 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 and then I was like, oh, blah, 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 and I couldn't open this damn window, and I was like, and the next line was like, well, it was something about the window being open or something. So I was like, and I was like trying to improvise, and finally I just went, bah! And then I don't remember what I said, but I said something when it went up. They burst out laughing, and the lights went black, and it was the end of the first act, and they were like, wah! Black, and it was like, wah! And I was like, I love this. So anybody have a moment? We started with that. Anybody got a moment? Just any moment, could be trivial, that you liked it, that you knew it excited you a little bit. Who's got a moment? Yes.
When I was little,
What's your name?
My name is Will.
Will. Yes.
When I was little, my dad used to have a bunch of voices when we were reading bedtime stories. And I thought that was really fun. That's what stuck with me all these years.
Nice. I identify with that. Anybody else? Yes, over there.
I was a part of Chicken Little, and the line was "The sky's falling," and I got orange tape, and I was like, "This is it."
Anybody else? Yes.
My name's Mary. I was doing an improv thing for an exam, and our table fell apart in the middle of the entire scene. And we all smiled at each other, looked at the audience, smiled at each other again, and just went on going.
Yes.
My name is Rutger. Last year I played Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, and we're performing in a bunch of third graders, in front of a bunch of fourth graders, and they clapped during one fit of anger with him showing up. Like, it was very rewarding. We did children and clapped.
Yes.
The first play I did, I'm Francisco, by the way. The first play I did was Hansel and Gretel, and I played the father of Hansel and Gretel. And at the end of the show, I'm not the star. I come on, and people are clapping and everything. And for some reason, I saw someone do this on TV. I took off my coat and threw it at the audience. My mom caught it. It was her jacket, and she caught it.
Yes.
My name is Marina, also related to Hansel and Gretel. In 6th grade, we had projects where you had to change a classic, like a fable or something. So I was the witch, and my thing that we changed was I wanted the tongues of the children, and I had to do a lot of improvising, but I just kind of forgot what I did, but I just had so much fun making people laugh, and I thought it was awesome.
I was Miss Hannigan in Annie, and after the production, Annie's mom came up to me and she told me that it had been my show and not Annie's.
Yes.
When I was in 5th grade, I did my first show, and I realized that I was the fourth in Beauty and the Beast, but 2 days before the show, the Beast dropped out, so I was like, I want to be the Beast. So I was
My name is Xavier, and when I was a sophomore, I was asked by a local theater company to play MLK, and we only had a day and a half of rehearsal, and 5 minutes before we went on stage, the staples to my script fell apart. So I fell off of my lines like 2 times, and it was a dramatization of Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, but I finally got myself back on track, and then we ended up getting a 3-minute standing ovation.
Oh my God.
Great.
Yes.
I played, my name's Luis, by the way. I played Howard in Moon Over Buffalo 2 years ago, and it's a show of a lot of people walking in and out of the green room in the theater, and I walked in at the wrong time, so me and the characters on stage improvised a 2-minute scene, finding a reason for me to leave at the same time for the show to keep going in front of an audience.
Yes.
This past spring, I was in my last high school show, and it was cabaret, and the last show that I ever did with this company, it was the final night, and I was singing the last song, Cabaret, and a few days before I found out that I got into NYU, so it was my last show in high school, but the first show I did, finding out where I was going next.
So we don't have that much time. I just want to hand it back to Fred in a second, but I just want to, play with all the seriousness which you do this, and all the beauty and the spirituality and the meaning of story. Play with this company. I was so blessed to work with amazing actors, including an actor who you probably heard of. He passed away though. It was Philip Seymour Hoffman, and we were doing a play that he directed, and it's called Our Lady of 121st Street, and he came in for a preview, and I guess we were, I don't know, it just didn't go as great as it always, or maybe it didn't go that great, and he came backstage and he just started going off, and when he went off, he was good, but part of his going off was, you remember when you're a little kid? Remember when you're a little kid and you want to play, you like to play, and you love to play, and you're not thinking about being judged, you're just thinking about flying everywhere. not just the box of the you that you have become defined, that we all get defined by our job, our height, our color, our age, our this or that, but fly. That's the actor. To play. And he just was trying to remind us it's okay to have fun and to play.
So let the games begin.